amidst the light of 1,000 stars falling from the sky. I heard the voice of a god created in our own image. And when the All-Mind spoke, the Earth I knew was no more.
Hello everybody and welcome to Recolonization, a bold attempt at reimagining strategy games, 4X to be exact. So, this game was given to me as a review copy, so that means free. And as the disclaimer, I'm letting you know, this doesn't outweigh or judge how I feel about the game just because I received something for free. So feel free to judge it how you feel. So, Recolonization, it's a new attempt at strategy games. Again, as I said, 4X to be exact. The developer X Studio, or Studio X, aims to breathe new life into the genre, offering players an immersive experience set in a post-apocalyptic world where survival is paramount. So, in this review, we'll delve into the positive aspects that make Recolonization a standout title, while also acknowledging some of the issues I have come across. So, with that being said, what you're witnessing behind is the tutorial. I am not, and this is another disclaimer right off the bat, I am not a profound player of 4X games. I've given it an attempt with Civilization, I think 3 or 4, I have no idea. I played it with a friend. They didn't tell me much of anything of how to play the game. I kind of had to learn it on my own. So the tutorial is not bad. It kind of baby steps you, but it doesn't tell you a lot. But again, let me start off with the positives. So, the gameplay mechanics are a refreshing take on the strategy game. So from what I played from Civilization to what I played here, following along with the tutorial, I didn't have any problems. I actually could kind of understand the concept of the game. The uniqueness in this game that I'm being told versus other games of this type is this climate system. So the climate system is kind of like, hey, here's your town, or the pilgrims, or whoever you're finding and that you're bringing a part of your team. Well, colonization, I mean, kind of makes sense, but the town that you're trying to colonize, they get benefits from certain climate. So I believe there is desert, grassland, blizzard, like a cold, of course, and they all have perks to it, and they also have negatives to it. And this is also portrays in battle scenes. So wherever the battle is happening, if one of your characters is in an Iceland verse where he should be in possibly, let's say, the desert, there's going to be negative consequences for that fighter being in that area at that time. Another key positive is it's kind of Civilization and other types of the games. They have this like set theme. Here it's a post-apocalyptic, and what's neat about this is what they've done is you start off kind of primitive, and you're building it to be technologically advanced, and we're talking like futuristic advanced, and I thought that was pretty cool. I kind of like games that take that little element of you go through phases, and I think there's like a not cyberpunk. There is a steampunk era, and it has like different eras, fantasy, like I said, medieval, and I thought that was pretty neat. I kind of like that aspect. That's kind of my niche. I'm a huge space. I love steampunk, and I just thought that was cool. Next, and this is a pro, but it's also kind of a con. They have an amazing customization and progression system, and in previous you kind of got a little glimpse of it was the scientific tree, and it's it's impressive. The level of customization is definitely impressive. It allows players to definitely create their own experience of how they want to build through that tree and design a layout for the settlements to choose, what kind of technologies you want to advance towards, and then unlocking that power and abilities in the game. So I think it's pretty nice that it gives the player multiple ways to play it depending on the situation at hand. Now, for the cons, and this is where, oh man, I visually, let me talk visually and audio. The music, the noises, the sound effects, everything's fantastic. The visual aspect, I love it. I like the whole dropping of the device to terraform the world. I think it's like a capsule or something they call it, terra capsule. I like that. It's neat. Like I said, the climate system, it's got its pros and cons, just like the customization and progression has its pros and cons. There's a steep learning curve. And coming from somebody who is trying to learn a 4X game, their tutorial system teaches you the basics. The moment I jumped in without it kind of hand-holding, and I don't really like games that hand-hold, but in this aspect, the learning curve was it's so great. I could not figure out when I went into a normal game by myself, I couldn't figure out what to do. I tried to understand the mapping of how to make my colonization or colony and settlement to be in the right area, but it doesn't tell you exactly. Like when I was trying to build it, it said you can't build on this, and I was like, okay, cool, let me build next to it. Oh, I'm gonna get a negative because this is the land that is here. I said, okay, well, it looks like grassland. Well, it's not grassland. Okay, well, this looks like desert. Nope, it's still grassland. I was like, wait, so that's desert, this is grassland, but that looks like desert. And sometimes I could tell the desert. It got a little tricky. So I basically was terraforming everything and wasting a lot of time. Because again, when you terraform, it takes time. Combat, you can have a little listen to it and see. Like I said, it's decent. I'm not particularly fond of it. I noticed my character was not the pathing. Like I wanted him to go to a specific path. He doesn't take a specific path. Wherever you click is where he's going to go. I don't like that. Second, your leader, he just pretty much sits in the back. I made the mistake of actually putting him in the battle and he got hurt, and I didn't know he can't fight. He doesn't fight. He just sits there. So I guess it's kind of like your king. Don't let him die because game over if he dies. So I didn't felt like that was kind of eh. Next there is the occasional glitches. I did have some bugs where I was clicking something and it didn't get placed. So I don't know if maybe that was just because I didn't do something correctly. So I kind of skipped my turn and then went back and it worked. But, it is what it is. I only had one crash to desktop. It didn't tell me an error code or anything. It just kind of went. Back to the learning curve. Like I said, it introduces a number of mechanics in the system early on, but it's very overwhelming. I think over time when they build up that tutorial system, huge, they need to build up that tutorial system. I think it could improve the onboarding of the game and maybe be more enjoyable for people in the future. But for me right now, no. I just did not enjoy it in the slightest. The other issues, just like I said, besides the climate, in other 4X games, they kind of have like encyclopedias. They kind of give you like hints and help. Like here's what this is to build into. Here's the type of phases you want to go through, or here's the units. Here's the skill. Like this doesn't have anything unless you just go in the game and just sit and play around with everything. Again, making it very hard. Last but not least, here is the menu screen for creating a new game. You get some decent options, and I thought that was nice. I've played other strategy games, and this just doesn't seem like a lot of customization. And again, I know early access, but I just want to point it out. There's not a lot of customization here. kind of a little disappointing. Your emissaries, you got 2 choices, and it's basically male-female, and they have their benefits for each one. So I would like to say, Revival, Recolonization, it's a new take. It's refreshing to see a new take on it. Like I said, post-apocalyptic. It's got some deep customization options, but it has a very steep learning curve, and besides some of the technical issues and little things that they do here and there that other 4Xs don't do, whether it be a pro or a con, I'm just not really a fan of it. And if you are a fan of a 4X and you kind of like post-apocalyptic kind of setting, I think this game would be great for you. But if you know your 4X, but other than that, I have to say for me, this is not a buy. I thank you guys for the copy. I will definitely play it in the future again once there's more updates and maybe the tutorial's a little bit stronger and could guide me towards a better path of how to actually play the game. But diving into the game without knowing anything definitely is a no-go for me. So I am going to be passing on this game. If it's on sale for Steam Summer Sale, which is currently going on at the time of this release, by all means, give it a go. Like I always tell everybody, you have 2 hours on Steam. Enjoy it, try it, see if you actually like it. For me, like I said, I'm going to be passing. So thank you guys. That was my review for Revival Recolonization, and I will see you guys on the next one. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.